single step. And at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, that step is met with warmth, guidance, and possibility. Here, learning goes beyond the books. It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practical, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in a real healthcare setting, preparing to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare. We empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our May and June intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
At JCK Hospital, we understand that a child's smile is priceless. That's why our dental services are tailored with care and compassion to ensure your little ones have the best experience possible. From gentle checkups to specialized treatments, our pediatric dental experts create a safe and friendly environment, making every visit fun and stress-free. Because we believe healthy habits start young. And for the grown-ups, we've got you covered too, with top-notch dental care for the whole family. Visit JCK Hospital today, located in Roysambu, opposite Park University on Lumumba Drive, and experience dental care that's gentle, professional, and family-friendly. JCK Hospital, you first.
Only 20 to 30% of pregnant women in the sub-Saharan Africa receive an ultrasound during pregnancy. Now that is according to World Health Organization's 2022 regional report for Africa. Now think about it. For many, a scan is only a way to find out baby's gender. But what if I told you an obstetrics ultrasound is able to reveal life-saving details about the mother and the baby long before symptoms appear? Now stay tuned as we uncover the science, the stories, and the vital role a scan plays in ensuring safety and health of a pregnancy. Greetings and welcome to yet another transformative episode of the Healthy You program. My name is Enock Kitondekijja, your host, and I'm so honored to walk this journey of health, healing, and transformation with you. Now, a special thanks goes to JCK Hospital. These are our esteemed partners. Now, they're the #1 advocates for health for the body, mind, and soul. Should you have any concerns regarding your health, do not get stuck anywhere. You can reach them using that number on your screen. We are also partnering with JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences. Students, JCK Hospital College is right here for you. Make sure that you get all the information you need to enroll using that number on your screen. Now, today's topic is one that is very important. We are talking about the mysteries about the obstetric ultrasound. This is a tool that medics use a lot. Some people are aware of it, some people do not even know about it. And today we have an expert in the building who's going to help us share the science. What really happens? What are they up to? We are going to also demystify so many myths and misconceptions people have regarding these scans. So it's a very important discussion. The sonographer we are having is one who has experience of more than 4 years in the field. Actually, he is a cardiac sonographer. He's a radiographer, very many things in there. But before I invite her to share her expertise, I want to recognize those of you who are following us on social media, Facebook, YouTube. You do so well. And if it's your first time to tune in today, I want to request you to please subscribe, press that follow button. And if this conversation makes sense, please go ahead and share with as many people as you can. Thank you so much. Back to my guest. Fiona is in the studios of Faith Day Television. You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Say hi to our viewers.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. I'm so glad to be here today. My name is Fiona Ruth Khaemba. I am a radiographer. I am a cardiac sonographer. And I am so thankful for the opportunity to be here today to speak of what I passionately love. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, you are welcome.
Thank you.
How has been your week like?
My week has been quite busy,
Yeah.
but we are picking up well. We are grateful for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. How is JCK? What's going on at JCK Hospital?
JCK is good. The people are all well. We are just working, nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today we are talking about an obstetric ultrasound.
Yeah.
And for people who are just watching us for the first time,
Yeah.
we are here to learn what it really means and why is it so critical for our mothers when they're pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a good question. So to begin with, obstetric ultrasound is majorly a scan of the fetus of an unborn baby. It's majorly a scan. It's very painless that is done to expectant mothers. And the main aim is to check on the baby, on the health of the baby and how the baby is doing. That's the main reason for obstetric ultrasound, to check, to see beyond the belly, actually, to see life before it comes to reality. Yeah.
Life before reality.
Yeah.
Why is it so critical? Because we see some people who just give birth without even having to see what is inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important in this age?
Okay, I understand in the current day, it's so hard to give birth without doing the ultrasound. But I know a long time ago, people used to give birth, maybe because technology was not there. But now it's advised to have several scans done before you deliver. The main reason is to help us check on the baby. The scan gives us a lot of information on how the baby is going, how the baby is doing, and how the baby is picking up, whether the organs are developing, to check on the heartbeat. There are a whole lot of things that needs to be checked. That's why an obstetric ultrasound is very essential.
Very, very essential.
Very, very essential.
All right. And for our viewers, it's a conversation that we want to engage you as well. If you have any question concerning scans, you've had your fears as to the scans they do, you can use that number on your screen to reach us. And you remember, the earlier you do, the better.
Yeah, sure.
Fiona, what difference does it make for, let's say, someone who has never had an experience, maybe they have never, for them, okay, their background is like they do not want to, it's a different, it's emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they see how their babies look.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you prepare someone? Is there anything that is done to prepare them before you even, reveal whatever you're going to share?
Like preparing emotional or
Yes,
psychologically?
emotionally. Yeah, yes. Are you aware of some people who, okay, let me reframe it.
Please.
There are people who are, who have never had
An
ultrasound before.
Yeah.
It's their first time.
Yeah.
It's their first baby. Do you prepare them? What are the expectations? How do you go about that?
Okay. So for preparations, in regards to that question, majorly for ultrasound preparations, when you are dealing with an ultrasound, you're doing for a mother who is below 12 weeks, the normal and standard preparation is for her to take water. We need a full bladder. That is the standard preparation for a normal obstetric ultrasound that is below 12 weeks. So when you are dealing with someone that is more of emotional, someone who maybe has fear out of whatever they know or whatever it might have cost, you just reassure them that everything is going to be okay. You just prepare them psychologically. You encourage them. You tell them it's not painful. It's something that won't take long. Sometimes this happens to mothers who've had miscarriages. So they have that fear of getting there on the ultrasound bed, and then they're told we don't have a heartbeat, or they're told the baby is not alive. They have that fear. Or people who've had a stillbirth before, they usually have that fear, but you just reassure them. You reassure them that everything is going to be okay. You tell them on the importance of the ultrasound and why we really need that. Yeah.
So it's important to prepare them and let them get ready for whatever you're going to talk about. You've talked about stillbirth. That is someone who has lost a baby. Before. There's that kind of fear.
Sure.
So, I mean, we want to also understand what exactly are you looking for when you're looking at the baby, this inborn. What exactly are you looking for, and what are the things that may really show you that there's something wrong, there's something that can be done, or something like that?
Okay, so for ultrasounds, they're categorized in different forms. We have the early obstetric scan, that comes usually from around 6 weeks to 12 weeks. For an early obstetric sound, you majorly check on the position of the baby, whether the baby is in the right position, that is in the uterus. You check on whether there is a heartbeat for that baby, so that we can confirm that indeed there is life growing, indeed that's a normal pregnancy. You check on whether the uterus, it's convenient, or whether the cervix is okay to hold the baby and to carry through the pregnancy. That all lies in the first pregnancy, in the first ultrasound scan, majorly in the first trimester, between 6 weeks to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Then we have another ultrasound. It's known as the anomaly scan. It's a routine obstetric scan. It falls between 18 weeks to 24 weeks. Around that time, we expect to see a baby. A baby was developed, the heartbeat is there, the limbs are there, both the upper limbs and the lower limbs, they are there. You can literally see the structure of the baby. You can see the abdomen, you can see the spine, it has developed. That's a very important ultrasound between the 18-week and 24 weeks, because it helps us to rule out that we are having a normal pregnancy without any defects. Now we go to the third segment of the scan, where we do it above 28 weeks. That's a late scan, late obstetric scan. Majorly it's to check on the presentation of the baby, if the baby is doing good, to check on the weight of the baby, to check if there is a cord around the neck and all that.
Wow, thank you so much, Fiona.
Thank you.
Fiona is here giving us so much quality content as to the scan and the format they use. She tells us there are 3 phases. There's that initial scan that you need. There is that middle anomaly scan that's very also important. And then the third one, she talks about the late stage ultrasound, which is very, very important. And you can tell they are also looking at the well-being of your baby. Is the baby having a heartbeat? You know, and the anatomy she talks about, is every organ in place? You know, she has talked about the lifeline and of the baby. You've talked about now the cervix, the spine. You've talked about now the well-being of the mother, the cervix. Is she able to even deliver and things like that?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's very important. Now let us engage another gear, because I know our viewers want to know also, how does this scan help now prevent complications?
Okay, to begin with, an early obstetric scan, it helps us to reduce or to prevent complications, in that you can find the baby is not in the womb. that is not a normal ultrasound. That's not a normal pregnancy. You can find maybe it's an ectopic pregnancy, it's a tubal pregnancy. So when you do the 6-week scan, between 6 weeks to 12 weeks, we are able to detect whether we are having a normal pregnancy, because sometimes we can have ectopic, where the baby is not implanted in the womb. We can have a case of blighted ovum, where we see the gestation sac is developing, everything is normal, it's in the uterus, but there is no baby forming. So that's not a normal pregnancy. An early pregnancy scan can also make us to determine whether we are having a single baby, whether we are having twins, or whether we are having triplets. That's why it's very essential for that stage. When we go to the middle ultrasound scan, that is between 18 weeks to 24 weeks, it helps us to know whether the baby is growing well, whether the baby is having issues, maybe with the spine, we call it bifida. Maybe the spine is not well developed. Maybe we're having a limb that is developed, but it's not fully developed. Maybe we are having fetal ascites. So many things that might be happening there. So the second trimester, the scans, the anomaly scans, they usually help us to rule out any defects concerning the baby at that particular time. When we go to the late scan, that is above 28 weeks, that usually helps us to know the presentation of the baby, so that to determine whether the baby will be delivered normally or through C-section. That will be known through the presentation, how the baby has presented themselves, how the baby, if they're having a cord around the neck, if they're a big baby, we're able to check on the weight, we're able to check if they're underweight and all that. It's a lot of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite really much,
Yeah.
And what I'm really learning today is that you can help someone make the right decision a bit earlier.
Yeah, sure.
When you're able to identify any anomaly early.
Yeah.
You've talked about now the baby being implanted in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You call that
ectopic pregnancy.
Ectopic pregnancy.
Yeah.
Can that be fixed?
Not really. Most
Okay.
of the times, ectopic pregnancy, a surgery is done and it's removed.
And
it's
it's
not
removed.
a normal pregnancy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe help someone understand if that happens, they have an ectopic pregnancy and they didn't do a scan, what is at stake?
Okay, for you to know you have an ectopic pregnancy, you'll have to do a scan, because you'll be experiencing a lot of lower abdominal pains, sharp pains on the abdomen, on the lower abdomen part. So when you visit a doctor with such complaints, the doctor will make you do the scan. And then you know from there whether you're having a normal pregnancy or not. I've not said that every lower abdominal pain is equivalent to an ectopic, because sometimes even a miscarriage, when it's happening, you find the patient presents with lower abdominal pain, bleeding, and all that. So it's really essential for a scan to be done so that we can rule out whether it's ectopic or whether it's an intrauterine pregnancy. We can't rule out just by examination.
By examination.
Yeah, you just can't.
Okay, I think it is really serious.
Yeah, it's very.
Because I believe you can also help us understand for our viewers, because in Africa, WHO gives us the data that people really skip these scans, They don't take them serious.
Yeah, sure.
It's only about 20 or 30% of people who get these scans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are people who don't think it is necessary to have a scan. Yeah, because probably they have given birth before, it was successful, things like that. Maybe help us understand what is at stake exactly for the mother and the baby in case they didn't have a scan and probably they are presenting with an ectopic pregnancy. Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. For a baby and a mother, for an ectopic pregnancy, it does more harm to the mother than the baby itself. It can get to a point whereby it ruptures because it's not in the uterus. Remember I said it's tubal, it's somewhere not in the uterus. So when it ruptures, it creates a whole lot. It's more life-threatening to the mother. And it can rupture when the mother doesn't know. Like they didn't know they have an ectopic pregnancy, they didn't do the scan, or maybe they were advised to do the scan, they didn't take it serious, they just assumed and went home. Maybe they think it's like the other pregnancy. Pregnancies, they never present the same. Pregnancies are different. You can be having your first baby, okay, your second baby, your pregnancy is fine. The third, the fourth, you're having a an ectopic pregnancy or a blighted ovum. So I just want to echo on the importance of an ultrasound, an early obstetric scan. It really helps us a lot. Apart from the ectopic one, it can help us whether we are having an early pregnancy failure. Yes, you can be pregnant, it's in the uterus, but it's not growing. Or the baby is there, but doesn't have a heartbeat. So the first trimester ultrasound scan between 6 weeks to 12 weeks, it's very essential for every person who finds out they're pregnant.
Wow, this is quality information there. Thank you so much, Fiona. For those of you who are following us, this is Faith Today Television, and our expert here is sent by JCK Hospital, our esteemed partners. Now, should you want more information, should you seek such quality data, you can find it at JCK Hospital. They are in Roysambu along Lumumba Drive, again, just next to Park University. Today, we are unveiling the importance of having an ultrasound scan. In Africa, we don't take things seriously, and you can tell that we have lost so many people during childbearing. It shouldn't be that way in this age when we have technology, we have information that can help us save lives, because life is very, very important, and how you go about it is very, very key. So if you have this information, you have the money, and you're aware of hospital facilities that can help you know what is going on in your body, it's very, very important. Yeah. Yes. Fiona, I think many people now get to understand that a scan is something that you can't put on the sideline.
Yeah, sure.
Something that is very, very important. But also there are people who have their reservations, yeah? You know, they're having certain myths and misconceptions about these scans. There are people who believe that it will affect their baby. Yeah. So help us understand, do you find any of such conversations, and how do you go about them?
Yeah, it's true. There is a whole lot of myths and misconceptions going around obstetric scans and all that. But I want to assure you, true to my word, that an ultrasound is very, very safe. An ultrasound uses sound waves. It uses sound waves. It doesn't use radiations to create the images for the baby. So an ultrasound uses sound waves to generate the images to help us see inside the belly, and it's very safe. No matter how many you do, it doesn't affect anyone, or it doesn't affect the mother, it doesn't affect the baby. All of them are safe, and it's so painless. It doesn't cost you a thing. You don't feel any pain. So I'd advise anyone who wishes to do the scan, and maybe they have fear, or maybe they have their own reservations, just do it. It won't harm you in any way, because you're not using any form of radiations. For X-rays, maybe I'd say you need to be keen on doing it. But for the ultrasounds, they are very safe. I assure you, they are very safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more myths and misconceptions you hear people talk
There
about?
are so many myths. Number one, people say ultrasound is just for gender, but it's not really meant for gender alone. And sometimes maybe someone has had a bad experience. Maybe they were told you're having a girl, and then they ended up having a boy. So they have this whole experience that the scans, they tell lies, that they're not sure even the gender. The machine lie. No, the machine doesn't lie. It's maybe the person who are dealing with at that time, they were not sure of which mistakes happen along the way. But ultrasound does not lie the gender. Like when you're dealing with an expert, someone who knows how to look for the gender, they won't lie to you. An ultrasound is very safe, and then it doesn't make the baby lose weight. They say like those things, they make the baby lose weight. No, it doesn't make the baby lose weight. Yeah.
Yeah. So one, you've talked about it's not just used to reveal
the gender.
The gender.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've also helped us understand that it is it's life-saving.
It's life-saving.
It's life-saving.
Yes, sure.
But also there's a fear. Some people think that doctors are up to money, you know. They're not sure some things. They can just do an examination and find out. They send you for an ultrasound scan. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, I understand the economy is not really good, but that does not equate to doctors wanting to get money for themselves. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's more important for the patient and the baby for the mother and the baby more than how it is for the doctor. Let's take, for example, someone who's had a series of miscarriages. Maybe they've had miscarriages before and now they're pregnant. You can't assume that person to have only one scan for the whole pregnancy. The doctor will advise several follow-up scans so that they can be able to assess the baby. How is the baby growing? How is the weight? How is the presentation? How is the cervix of the mother? Like, a whole lot of things need to be looked for in order to prevent another scenario of a miscarriage happening. So it's not about making money. It's about caring for the baby, caring for the mother, ensuring we are having a safe pregnancy, ensuring the pregnancy comes to term. Yeah, we just try our best to prevent miscarriages, to prevent stillbirths and other abnormalities that might happen.
All right. I think Fiona here clears the air. She tells us doctors are not after your money. They are also aware the economy is not that good. So if they are asking for a follow-up scan or any scan, it's only that they want to make sure that this pregnancy is not life-threatening. Yeah, because there are those that are risky, highly risky, and it's important for them to follow up, monitor, walk this journey with you, and I think that is the word.
Yeah, sure.
Until when you give birth to your baby. Yeah. Do you have anything more to add?
To add, we should not fear ultrasounds. You should not fear when the doctor sends you for several ultrasounds. Maybe they tell you do a follow-up scan after 2 weeks. You come, they tell you the next month or after 2 months you do another scan. That should not make you to be afraid. That should give you an assurance that you're in the right hands, that the doctor cares about you, the doctor cares about the baby. So we should eradicate fear from the picture. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And think fear is something that we need to deal with, face it headlong.
Yeah, sure.
And with the information that we have, that these scans are not radioactive, they're not going to affect our inborn. That is something that is very, very important. Again, for our viewers, you have a question, we have the expert right here, and we want you to send in your question using that number on your screen, and remember to let us know your name and where you are asking from. I know we are going to take a short break, but before we go into a short break, Fiona, I want you to help us understand. Yes, you've talked about all the 3 scans, you know? Yeah. But what is that one most important scan that no mother should miss? Because we realize so many people skip them, but what is that one most important scan, and at what point should a mother have that scan?
I can't really say it's 1, maybe I say it's 2, because you really need the first scan between 6 weeks to 12 weeks to be able to assess whether we are having a viable pregnancy, to be able to assess whether we are having a normal pregnancy. You really need that scan. And also towards giving birth, when you are hitting around 37, 38 weeks, you really need another scan to be able to guide the doctors and the nurses on the way in which you're going to deliver. Maybe you're having a big baby. Maybe you're having a baby with a cord wrapped around the neck. It will really give the doctor options and opinions on how you're going to deliver the baby. So I can't really say you need 1 scan. Maybe at least, okay, let's make it at least 3, not even 1, at least 3. Because even the anomaly one between 18 weeks to 24 weeks, it's so important to assess whether the baby is having any defects, and to give the doctors a heads up on how to handle that particular case. So you need at least 3 scans, at least 3 scans.
At least
not 1. At least 3 to be on the safe side.
To be on the safe side.
Yeah.
So Dr. here says to be on the safe side, you need at least 3 scans. That is for her. And I know you have your own concerns about this discussion. We want to also now hear from you. What do you have to say about this discussion? What question do you have for our expert here? Because I know in the second segment, we are going to also unveil some of the important tips you need to know, even as you are preparing to go for that ultrasound, as you prepare to have your baby checked. So we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we are going to also begin with the first person who has sent in their questions. So do not change that dial. We are coming back in a short while.
Every great journey begins with a single step. And at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, that step is met with warmth, guidance, and possibility. Here, learning goes beyond the books. It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practical, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in a real healthcare setting, preparing to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare. We empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our May and June intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
Faith Today TV is here to make your brand outstanding. Worry not on where to advertise your business or your product. Call us on 0114 777 000 or email us on info@faithtodaytv.co.ke.
It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practical, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in a real healthcare setting, preparing to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare. We empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our May and June intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
Faith Today TV is here to make your brand outstanding. Worry not on where to advertise your business or your product. Call us on 0114 777 000 or email us on info@faithtodaytv.co.ke.
Hello there, my name is Enock. Taking care of your health should be a top priority. Looking at the various engagements that we have today, it is so easy to forget about our health, mental well-being. That is why we introduce to you the Healthy You Talk Show, a brand new show that is going to address matters concerning your health, nutrition, stress management, mental health, name it. We bring to you a wide range of experts who are going to be touching pertinent issues concerning our health. Tune in every Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on Faith Today TV. Wow. Greetings and welcome back once again to our second segment of our discussion. We are talking about the mysteries of an obstetric ultrasound. what it can reveal, what it can tell for the baby and the mother. So many of us in the sub-Saharan Africa have been skipping these scans, but we learned that we are putting so much at risk, not just the baby, but also the mother. So it's important to do the ultrasound scan. And we have also allayed so much anxiety through our expert. It's not harmful. It is rather helpful. And it's going to help you improve your pregnancy, improve your outcomes, and also help you secure a future, both for the baby and the mother. Very, very important. And we have an expert here from JCK Hospital. Fiona, thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.
I have questions coming in, and I want to take the first question before we get deeper in our discussion. We have Mama Brian. Thank you so much, Mama Brian. Though you didn't tell me where you are watching from, but I hope this is very helpful. Mama Brian says, hello. Can ultrasounds tell if my baby has Down syndrome? She says, can ultrasound tell if my baby has Down syndrome?
Hello, Mama Brian. Thank you so much for your question. So about Down syndrome, that is something that can be seen when the baby is already born. So you are advised to do the scans, and then when the baby is born, he or she can get checked at the hospital by the doctors. Then they'll give you a heads up on that.
Wow. And then we have Vivian. Thank you so much. We have Vivian from Githurai 45. Vivian is asking, what does it mean when they say the baby is measuring small on the scan? Should I be worried? That is Vivian in Githurai 45.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you for your question. So in regards to weight, majorly a baby who is at term, it's not supposed to be less than 2 kgs. We say the baby is underweight, maybe when they're at 37 weeks and above, and they're weighing less than 2 kgs. That's when we consider the baby has a low weight. But in regards to ultrasounds, you have to do ultrasounds from that 18 to 24 weeks. They're normally scanned. It usually shows us the weight of the baby at that particular point, and from there we are able to know whether your baby is gaining weight slowly or whether your baby is on the right track, because there is a range. Like when the baby is at 24 weeks, there is a range in which a baby is supposed to weigh at that particular point. So I'd advise you, Vivian, to go get a scan, and then from there your doctor or your nurse will advise you whether you're on the right track or whether whatever you need to do for the baby to gain some weight. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's very, very insightful, and maybe you can also help us understand, because when you give us that scan, it's black and it has a bit of dots, white and everything there. Yeah. So what are the key parameters are you looking out for, and maybe help us get the ranges? What is the ideal and things like that?
Okay, you see, babies are different and pregnancies are different. There are those where we have very big babies. Like you can get a baby weighing up to 4 kgs, maybe at 37 weeks. And then there is someone else who will have the same weeks, 37 weeks, and the baby is weighing 2.3 kgs. We are not saying that the babies are abnormal, one is healthy, one is not. They are all above 2 kgs and they are normal babies. So in regards to weight of the baby, it ranges within weeks. And also it depends on the growth rate of your baby. It also depends on the health of the mother. How is the mother carrying herself during the pregnancy? You see, there are some mothers who are sick and they are pregnant. You can't expect them to have the same weight with their mother who is normal. There are some mothers who may be alcoholic or they smoke during their pregnancy. That will definitely lead to a low weight for the baby. So Weight is a very huge aspect when it comes to the ultrasound, and it's also huge when it comes to delivering of the baby. It really determines a lot. So that's why I'm emphasizing on the importance of a scan to help us follow up on the weight of the baby. Apart from the weight, you say that we give a black and white paper. The black and white paper usually shows us the presentation of the baby. The baby can be cephalic, the baby can be breech, the baby can be transverse. It shows us the heart rate of the baby, whether we are having a normal heartbeat within the normal range, or whether we are having a fetal bradycardia. Fetal bradycardia is when the heart rate is below the expected range. We also get to learn the presentation of the placenta during the ultrasounds, whether the placenta is posterior, whether the placenta is positioned anteriorly, whether the placenta is having abnormalities like it's not supposed to be low-lying. You can find some pregnancies, the mother has a low-lying placenta. That's a very high-risk pregnancy, which needs scans, follow-up scans to know how the placenta is catching up. You can find the placenta is detached slightly or fully detached from the wall, or you can find the placenta is having abruption, that is hematoma and hemorrhages and all that. Apart from the placenta, we get to see the movement of the baby. We are supposed to see the movement, like literally you see the baby kicking. That's why you feel, the mothers feel, but as we see, you can see the kicks, you can see there are some who circle their thumbs, you can see how they turn around with the amniotic fluid. We also get to learn the amount of amniotic fluid in the womb, because there are mothers who have a lot of amniotic fluid, and there are those who have little amniotic fluid, and there are those who have the adequate. So scans help us to check on the sufficiency of the amniotic fluid. It helps us to check on the physical presentation of the baby, whether all organs and all parts are there, and everything about that. Yeah.
A moment of silence for that, because I wanted to sink deep, because this is quality information. Yeah. What you're not able to see with your eyes, technology is also helping us now see and understand.
Exactly. And it also helps us to know the number of weeks.
The number of weeks.
Yeah, like your baby is at 24 weeks, your baby is at 38 weeks, your baby is at 6 weeks. Yeah. We'll be able to tell the number of weeks for the baby, and we'll be able to give you an estimated day of delivery for the baby.
Estimated day of delivery.
Yeah, so that's what we call the EDD, estimated day of delivery. Yeah.
So that someone can plan themselves well.
Yeah, sure.
This is only quality information for our viewers who are following. You can tell that there are so many insights you are getting today. I didn't know that there are people who drink while pregnant.
There are.
So a sonographer will be able to point that out. People who smoke.
Yeah.
It's not safe, right?
It's not safe for the baby.
But people stubbornly do
mother.
that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But the sonographer can be able to highlight that. Do you have this conversation with the mothers?
Yeah, there are some, when you have a mother, actually I love having an interactive session with the mother. You show her, this is the head of your baby, this is the tummy, this is the heartbeat, you put it for them to hear. Actually, there are those who anticipate the first heartbeat. There are those who get emotional, they cry. So it's usually a very interactive. And there are those who, they don't, you just do your thing and let me go. Yeah, so you meet different kinds of patients all along. Yeah, but you just learn how to handle them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have your way, you talked about your way of handling people who are emotional. How do you handle?
People who are emotional. Yeah, maybe you're having a mother who has had miscarriages before. They don't even want to hear the heartbeat. You have to put yourself in their shoes. You reassure them that the baby is okay. Or maybe a mother has had a stillbirth before and they've come again, they're pregnant, but they've not had the baby move. Now they're afraid it might end up being a stillbirth again. So you just reassure them that everything is going to be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Or there are mothers who come, maybe they're expectant, their day is almost there, and then you miss a heartbeat. That means the baby is not there. You have to tell them, but now you have to brace yourself for the work because it's not ever easy.
I think that's a challenge, and I feel it is a conversation we should have now.
Yeah, sure.
Someone who has had a stillbirth, how do you address that? How do you approach that?
Okay, for people who've had stillbirths or miscarriages, and maybe you're finding another stillbirth, unfortunately, you have to really put yourself in their shoes, because it's not easy having a series of stillbirths or having a series of miscarriages. You really have to emphasize with them and to allow them to just, whether they want to cry, you can even give them room. You can just give them room to process everything before you even hurry them to get up and go out. So it really calls for empathy and just being in the moment with them. You can even hold their hand. You can give them tissue to wipe their tears. But at the end of the day, you need to encourage them that it's not the end of everything, and they can get pregnant again and it will end up well. You just need to reassure them and to encourage them.
So I think this is a very interesting discussion, because I like the way you approach it, because that also talks about emotional intelligence. As I mean, you, the experts who are helping these people, empathy is very key.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how you guys connect now with the doctors, because you have to give now this report to maybe a senior or a doctor to now carry on.
Yeah.
Do you get to talk with them to discuss this condition, or you just hand over? We've seen, I mean, in practice, sonographer, after doing the scan, they just hand over to the doctor, and then that's all.
Yeah.
How do you, go about that?
I think people are different, and the way they present themselves is also different. But in a case like that, I feel it's good. You tell the doctor, you tell the nurse that you are missing a heartbeat, so that they can come and emphasize with the patient and also tell them and reassure them that it's going to be okay, that their next pregnancy will be fine.
Yeah, of course, we know, I mean, if someone already has, I mean, they're still alive, there is still hope.
Yeah, there is hope, sure.
Back again.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I think that is something that we needed to have this week. It's a discussion we needed to have.
Sure.
Prepare people. Thank you so much, our viewers. I know you're getting value just because of the questions that you're sending in. And I also want to remind you that JCK Hospital is right next to you. In case you are stranded, you are stuck anywhere, they have an emergency response as well. The ambulance is on point, so you can use that number on your screen to reach them. Make sure there is no, nothing is out of balance, nothing is not attended to, because they're right here at your service. And we get to hear the kind of approach they use when clients come to their facility. And I think that is something that all other facilities or hospitals need to emulate in the current world that we're living in right now. We're getting quality. I must submit to you, Fiona. We have another question here. This person did not specify the name, but she says, is it true that too many ultrasounds can harm the baby?
That's a good one. We've already talked about that before, and I'll just echo what I've said.
Yep.
Ultrasound is a very safe procedure. It uses sound waves. We are not using any radiations, so it is not true. Ultrasounds don't harm the baby. Ultrasounds are important in giving us vital information concerning the baby and the mother. So ultrasound is very safe for both the baby and the mother. It doesn't harm.
It doesn't harm.
Yeah.
And this is just to emphasize what she talked about earlier. So today we have to clear the air, and we have to now confirm that ultrasounds are safe as long as the person who is the machine operating it is also knowledgeable.
Qualified. Yeah.
Because we get to hear the false negatives, false genders, things like that. They can affect people. Yeah. Do you get such challenges, people?
Yeah, you have very many challenges concerning the gender. Maybe someone has done an ultrasound somewhere else. They were told it's a boy. You come to me, I tell you it's a girl. Whom will you believe? It's such a challenge. So you have to really reassure this patient and to show them that this is a girl, and to show them, like for a girl, when they are presenting with girls, you'll show them that this is a girl, and you have to prove to them, you show them the labias. If it's a boy, you'll see the testicles. So you have really to show them. And if they are not still believing, you have to call in a third person to tell them, a neutral person to tell them this is a boy or this is a girl.
Okay.
Gender has a lot of challenges.
You know, this is a deeper discussion today. And
Yeah.
because you have the information, we know we can glean so much from you.
Yeah.
What happens with those who give us the false ones, the false results? Is it because they are not so knowledgeable? Is it because they don't have the right equipment? What really happens?
It's a challenge because with gender, okay, ideal for a gender from 18 weeks, you can see
And
a
actually,
gender
not just
from a
gender,
baby.
but even other parameters.
Okay, and other parameters.
Yes. Yeah.
But it goes way down to the machine, the quality of the machine, the experience of the person. You see, we learn every day. Every day is a learning process. So the machines, the person who is handling you at that particular point, and also just the baby. Sometimes the baby doesn't want to cooperate when it comes to seeing the gender. They'll close their legs.
Oh, really?
And you're having a lot of pressure from the mother and maybe the father who is there. They really want to see the gender. They're like, we cannot pay again to get to see the gender. We have to see it now. So it becomes hectic. It becomes very hectic. Oh, you're having multiple pregnancies, maybe twins or triplets, and only one is open to be seen. The other one is not open.
Okay.
Like they cannot open their legs, or the position in which they're lying, you cannot be able to see the ultrasound. So it's a challenge, and it calls for understanding. Like the patient needs to understand us the same way we understand them. When I tell you, like, the gender cannot be seen now, but you can come after 2 weeks, don't think that we are after your money. No, we are not after the money. We just want you to get the satisfaction. Yeah. Or maybe the patient comes at 8 weeks and they're asking for the gender at 8 weeks. You tell them at 8 weeks we are unable to see anything. Even the limbs have not formed. So when you tell them come at 18 weeks, they feel these ones want to take my money. No, it's not a matter of that. But from 18 weeks, you can see the gender. Yeah.
At 18 weeks, you can see the gender. And for our viewers, you can now tell there are so many layers with the issue of the false gender, the negatives, the positives, false positives, and things like that. But we can tell that also the baby can be stubborn sometimes. They hide, you know. Yeah. So it's really an issue there. So you don't have to blame anyone. You need to just understand them, like she has said, understand them. But also, most importantly, the equipment is very key. And the person who is handling you is also very important. Thank you so much. All right. This is a very honest question. I think it is from someone personally. Thank you so much, though she didn't even specify the name, but you are giving value. My last ultrasound showed a shadow on the brain. They said to wait and repeat in 2 weeks. I'm scared. What could it be?
Please come again.
All right. She says, my last ultrasound showed a shadow on the brain. They said to wait and repeat in 2 weeks. I'm scared. What could it be?
Okay. You don't need to be scared, because when you're doing an ultrasound, sometimes you find on the brain of the baby, the ventricles, they are a bit dilated, but it's something that maybe if it's mild, it usually reforms on their own. So you don't need to be scared. It's good you did an ultrasound. So I just want to reassure you that do a follow-up scan and get a doctor to examine you, and everything will be fine. Those things happen, especially to the baby's brain. You get the ventricles on the brain. Sometimes they dilate, but it's a condition that's almost there, like 40% you get those cases. It's not a rare case. So just do a follow-up scan, and from there, your doctor will advise you on the way forward. But it's not something to really raise eyebrows. Yeah.
It's not something that should raise eyebrows.
Yeah.
Wow, that is quite very insightful. I know we cannot take any more questions for now because of time, but I know you have so much you can deliver. If you could summarize it in your parting shots. Yes.
Okay. To bring a summary of all this that we've discussed today, number one, to any expectant mother or anyone who is planning to conceive, most of those who are expectant, first of all, congratulations that you are pregnant. They say children are a gift from God, right? So as God has entrusted you with that baby, take care of her and take care of yourself. Take care of her or him and take care of yourself. One of the ways of taking care of your baby and yourself is by visiting your nearest hospital. Once you learn that you're pregnant, visit the hospital, get your ultrasounds done, get checked by the doctor, get your antenatal clinics in place, and do not fear that ultrasounds will harm you. Ultrasound is very safe for you and for your baby. The ultrasound will give us very vital information that concerns your baby, that concerns you. Ultrasound will also help you to bond with your baby before you meet them, because you see, for ultrasound, you're just seeing the life that is, we are seeing beyond the belly, literally. So do not be scared about anything. And I wish you the best, and I wish you a safe pregnancy and a safe delivery. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fiona. That is very, very insightful. And I can't wait to have you another time so that you can even get us deeper to understand the cardiac. You said you're an expert.
Cardiac sonography.
You're an expert.
Yeah.
A cardiac sonographer.
Yes.
Oh, now that is an expert here for the hearts, right?
Yeah, for the hearts.
For the hearts.
For the heart, yeah.
For those of you who have just tuned in, you know that is a discussion that you don't want to miss. You want to understand what is going on in there, in your heart, and how you can really survive in this world that is full of so much information and technology. Because technology is here and we have to utilize it. Otherwise, thank you so much again for our viewers for tuning in. Today we learned that an obstetric ultrasound is very key, very vital, not just for the baby, but for the mother as well. And it is safe, like she has alluded to, the fact that it will help you also rule out so many complications and help you plan your pregnancy better. So from the first flicker of the heartbeat and to the final weeks of pregnancy, you know, this scan is very, very important because it helps maintain the lifeline of the baby and the mother. They're all moving hand in hand. It's not one party that is involved, and it's very important that you get this scan. Again, this discussion has been brought to you by JCK Hospital. You can find them in Roysambu along Lumumba Drive. Faith Day Television is here to broadcast this, and we are calling upon you, wherever you are, to stand with us, support this movement, support this station. We have those tires that are running on the screen. You can support this movement with whatever you can. Keep us on air so that we can help as many people out there as we can. Again, my name is Enock Kitondekijja, and you have been watching the Healthy You program. Until we meet next time, stay proactive, stay informed, and stay healthy. God bless you.
At JCK Hospital, we understand that a child's smile is priceless. That's why our dental services are tailored with care and compassion to ensure your little ones have the best experience possible. From gentle checkups to specialized treatments, our pediatric dental experts create a safe and friendly environment, making every visit fun and stress-free. Because we believe healthy habits start young. And for the grown-ups, we've got you covered too, with top-notch dental care for the whole family. Visit JCK Hospital today, located in Roysambu, opposite Park University on Lumumba Drive, and experience dental care that's gentle, professional, and family-friendly. JCK Hospital, you first.